get in the car, you lie in the sand. When I go too far, you're the swimming pool on Mother's Day. You're the perfect thing to say. And you play the chord, but it's kind of cute. Oh, this might be not exactly what you do, baby. Don't pretend you know it's true. 'Cause I can see it when you're here. It's crazy life through these crazy times. You make me sing every line, every word, everything. You're a carousel, you surround, and you let me out when you ring my bell. Down the street, oh, you're from outer space. You're every day, and I can't believe I'm well on to kiss you, baby, just because I can. Love comes away when we see through. Yeah, that's what love can do. It's crazy life through these crazy times. You make me sing every line, every word, everything. La, 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 la. And in this crazy life, through these crazy times, you make me sing every line, every word, everything, every song. I sing along, show everything. La 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 la. La 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 la. There we go, Mr. Michael Bubble. Thank you very much for writing that song, sir. Tried to get you, just so hot that I melted, about right through the cracks. And I'm trying to get back. Oh, the cold didn't run out, never giving it the fastest. Not time to stop it, but to find a prevention. Reckon it's again my turn to learn some or learn some, 'cause I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Do-do-do. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Let the man see like me. Open up and damn you free. Look to your heart and you'll find love, 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 love. Listen to the music of the moment, people dancing. We're just one big family, and it's our God-forsaken right to be loved, love, 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 love. So I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm sure there's no need to complicate. Our time is short. This is our fate. I'm yours. Do you want your camera? Scooching over close the door, and then you'll spin it. Been way too long, chicken my tongue and be rude. I know the back is just to try to see it clearer. My back cuts up the glass, and I drew no face and I laughed. I guess what I'm saying is it ain't the that's the reason to reach up vanities and just go with the seasons. It's what we aim to do. Our name is our virtue, 'cause I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. And if you man see like me, open that left and you're free. Look to your heart and you'll find sky is yours. And please stop, please stop, please stop. There's no need to complicate, 'cause our time is short. This is our fate. I'm yours.
Lovely. The sounds of 007 there. That's a clip from Double's live stream from earlier on today. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome back to Really Woke Reports Live. We thought some smooth sounds from 007 would be a lovely, lovely way to start the evening or afternoon or morning, depending on where you are on the international plane. Double, I said I was going to jump straight into the chat room as soon as we get into this. So I'm going to do that right now. On Walking Life, thank you so much for tuning in. Micaiah's Place as well. Astro King, Alfie Patching, lovely to see you. Adam Forrest as well, lovely to see you as well. Z Proxy, lovely to see you in the chat room too. Tomashino, John Boy in the chat room as well. Local Experimentalist, lovely to see you too. Truth Seeker as well, not in this reality, lovely to see you in the chat room. Reverend Hull too, lovely to see you as well. Truth Seeker 69, hello gorgeous girly, lovely to see you in the chat room. And further up the list we've got Just Mode, that looks like Dave Mordy. Have you changed your name? If you have, give me a shout in the chat room. That looks like Dave Mordy there. Double, you're still on mute, darling. I don't know, did I mute you?
Me both.
Cool. You're off.
Yeah, that's Dave Mordy, man.
Okay, cool. Valley Parks as well. Lovely to see you in the chat room too. And 007's there in the chat room. Noel Watson, lovely to see you too. Yeah, after you pop little one to bed, jump on in, not a problem. Maggie Ray, lovely to see you as well. Dean H, hiya, lovely to see you in the chat room. Great to see you. Justice, hello my brother, lovely to see you in the chat room. Hope you and the family are doing well. Shout out to your dad as well. Further up the list, Billy Boy as well, Luke Kennedy, and Fast Eddie Flathead. Lovely to see you as well. And Amanda Young, first in the chat room. Gorgeous girly. Lovely to see you as well. I'm just going to get back down to the bottom of the list just in case I've missed anyone. Magic, Kim Ray as well. Lovely to see you too. And Victoria Abbott. Lovely to see you as well in the chat room. Madam Medusa, you're amazing. You are, bro. You are a little bit amazing, bro. Thank you so much for sharing your God-given talent.
I just gave Madam Medusa a wrench.
Nice. Shout out to Madam Medusa. So yeah, hopefully I've oh, cheers, my darling. Thank you. Yeah, to respond to everybody's question about my pizza, I went live today with the children. We had a little bit of YouTube problems. They took the first video down. We came back again. We carried on. We proceeded forth with our dough making skills and our bread making skills. And I must say, just before I went live tonight, I finished off making the pizza for the children, and I've got a little video for you that I'm going to show you now. So we'll get into this. So hold on, just going to pop it on me for a second, bro.
Go ahead, babe.
Okay, so this is the result of today's finale of homemade pizza, freshly made dough as well.
My stomach's still rumbling. My mouth is still watering.
It's looking good. It's looking good. I'm going to put that on here now to dry. Not dry, cool down. This evening. Yeah, that's looking good. And I've actually taken a picture, which I think I might even put on my hopefully you can see it all.
Yeah.
It came out really lovely, guys. I mean, oh, sorry, I've got to zoom in a little bit. Look at that crust. Look at that. I'm telling you, that was my first ever attempt.
It doesn't look like a crust that you need to leave.
I'm telling you,
well, yeah?
The kids were like, Mum, that is the best pizza we've ever had. And I was just like, winning.
Do you know
like,
why?
Day 5.
Again, because I told you, it's because it had the magic ingredient in it, man.
Love. We put the love into it. And it came out lovely. So Noel, shout out to you, man. That dough recipe is winning. We will try and revise that video. Jessica seems to think that live cooking videos, she's like, relax, we're not Nigella yet. We're not Nigella. We don't have a production team and we have no idea what we're doing, Mum. And I was like, okay, so what should we do? She was like, maybe we should do editing. So yeah, the channel that we've made will be available as of tomorrow to live stream from. So we will see what happens for the rest of this week. The dough, in fact, let me go and get it actually. Hold on, I'll show you. Okay, so this is a little bit like show and tell. This is cool. So we have the dough, homemade dough that everyone witnessed that we made this morning, this afternoon, and it's in here. It's kind of sticking to the lid a bit. I've used some of it already. There's the pizza dough. It smells really nice, actually. Pizza dough there, and here we have the bread rolls, which is still rising. It was 2 hours that they said it should rise for, and it's risen quite high actually. I put a little fold in it so it can have some room, and this is how much it's risen now. And everyone remembers how small it was when I threw it in there. It was really small.
Ah, that's yeast for you. Yeast is brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah,
I remember
really,
making
really
bread.
So, and it's springing back. It's doing everything that it's supposed to be doing. So we're hoping that we're going to do the bread rolls in the morning. And what we're going to do is we're going to stream it live on YouTube private. And then we're going to chop it up, edit it, and then put it as a kind of fully done piece of content. And hopefully, many folk will be able to make bread rolls quite easily. So,
you can't stream private.
You
can
can.
record private.
No, you can stream. Yeah, you can.
Can you?
Yeah, done it before. Do it again. Not a problem. Yeah.
I didn't realise that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, remember that day that I did Speaker's Corner? I did the bit in between, streamed it privately, and then chopped it up.
Yeah, but isn't that where it still records it to your phone, doesn't it, or whatever you're
No,
using to do it?
No, that's the whole point. It doesn't record it to my phone. That's the whole point. I get round the whole memory issue, and then I can just download it onto the computer.
Yeah.
And then I'll just avoid having it on my phone altogether. So yeah, Spirit Level as well in the chat room. Astro King, Alfie Patchin. Thanks for all of those interactions. And likewise, Dean, really glad I got the opportunity to meet you as well. Miss Chime, shout out to you as well. Definitely, the children are going to get involved in a manner of different ways. In fact, it kind of brings me to the next point that I wanted to discuss with everybody. I've shared this on my community section. So if you just all bear with me, because I would actually like to read this out, because I am trying to do my best to report on things as woke as I possibly can. And this really kind of hit a nerve with me because I'm a parent, and because I know that there are expectations that are bestowed upon me as a parent. And I saw this, and realistically speaking, you all know that I'm very happy that my children are no longer in an indoctrination centre being indoctrinated to a false narrative. So the fact that they're at home with me is a blessing, but I don't consider, I'm not trying to homeschool my children to the national curriculum or to the education that's been set for them. So when I saw this, it was a real refreshing breath of fresh air. So I'm gonna add me to the stream, and then I'm gonna put its full stream like this because I want to show you what it is I'm reading out to you. If any of you are able to go into my community section just now for yourselves, you can read this along with me. But I really do want to highlight it because I know that my community section is somewhat hidden. And as this head teacher decided to name himself, I wanted to share what he said. So the message,
shared it on my community section as well.
Brilliant. Thank you, brother. So it starts with basically take it easy and look after your mental health first and foremost. We're not teachers, we're parents in a crisis. This is a message from Mr. Elliott, the head teacher of Sacred Heart School in Hastings. Dear parents and carers, lots of people are feeling stressed, overwhelmed, and under pressure by everything that's happening. This includes the work being sent home for your child. I wanted to give my perspective on it as a head teacher, and I hope that this can help somewhat. A few points to note first. This is not homeschooling. This is an unprecedented emergency situation impacting on the whole international community. Let's keep perspective. Homeschooling is a choice where you considered, you plan for it, and you are your child's school teacher in whatever form you choose. This is, at best, distance learning. In reality, it's everyone trying to separate their bums from their elbows because none of us know what we're doing and what's right and wrong here. You are and have always been your child's primary educator. If you decide that your child isn't going to engage with anything sent home and is going to spend the entire period playing in the dirt or baking or watching TV, then that's your choice. That is your right. There is nothing to stress or feel guilty about. Schools do not know what they're doing either. They had no choice, no preparation time, and we were not told to continue to plan lessons as normal and just send them home. That's not possible. If it were, we'd all be out of a job. 4, it's absolutely not possible to facilitate distance learning with a primary age child and work from home at the same time. The very idea is nonsense. If you're trying to do that, stop now. You can certainly have activities where your child learns, but your focus is on your survival. Again, unprecedented. Stop trying to be superheroes. So, a few FAQs. For starters, how about, my child has sent home lots of physical work, pages and pages, hours and hours. How am I supposed to get through it all? Well, in answer, you're not, so don't try. Your child's teacher has spent a couple of hours in utter panic gathering through things to send home so that they can say that they did their best and there wasn't a lot of complaints that enough didn't go home. It's not a competition or a race. It's unlikely that the teacher will even manage to look at it at all. Next question. My school keeps sending home links and emails with more work. How do I make it stop? Aha, see above. There are suggestions and ideas because the school is worried that they're not offering enough. Use them if they suit you. If they don't suit you, then don't. If you're getting stressed, stop opening the emails. No one will know. Next question. Someone in my child's class has everything done and we've barely started. Will my child fall behind? Even if everything were equal in terms of support, time, and number of children, which it's not, all the children learn at different rates. In the class, there's a wide range of levels in all subjects. There's different paces, and there are many different children working on differentiated levels of work. It's almost impossible for teachers to differentiate at the moment, so you don't have to do it either. Your child will not fall behind. This is all revision and reminder work. If children could all learn new concepts without specific teaching, then we wouldn't need teachers. They will cover all of this again multiple times. Next question. I'm not doing any work with my kids. All they're doing is building Lego, cooking, and playing outside. Well, all of this is learning, and it's very valuable learning. Give yourself and them a break. Next question. How can I get 3 different lots of work done with 3 different children of 3 different kinds of ages? Answer, you can't, so stop trying. If they're old enough, try to get them to do little bits independently. Otherwise, try and do something that they can all engage with, reading a story together, free writing, baking, etc. So what is the bare minimum that you would expect for me? Well, for all of us, that would be survival mode. So don't pretend that it may be true. All teachers, but you know what? If they can't have perspective in a time like this, then I wouldn't overly worry about their opinion anyway. My ideal for the children in our school. Question. A bit of reading every day independently to them or via, here's the Prime Minister, the head teacher's ideal for the children in school would be a bit of reading every day independent or to them via audiobook. Some free writing now and then. If they keep a diary or something, great. If not, let them draw a comic. Practical hands-on maths, be that via cooking, cleaning, outside, or some maths games, practical or digital. Some finer motor work, Lego, cutting, Play-Doh, tidying up small toys, physical exercise every day, some art, music, where possible through the week. It doesn't need to be guided. A stretch goal. If old enough, getting them in to work independently on a project is great for keeping their brains ticking over. If younger, lots of imaginative free play. The more independent, the better. You are doing enough and you're loving your children and supporting them through a difficult time. Look after yourself. Minimizing stress is absolutely vital in a time like this for mental health. Don't let this be something that stresses you. Only you can control that by accepting that this is your circle of control. You're the primary educator and this is all your call. Apologies. This post is much longer than anticipated. Again, thank you so much for kind of bearing with me through that. But I felt that if you haven't heard that as a parent, then you definitely do need to hear it. It's absolutely fine. And if you are stressing, don't stress. I know that there's a lot of parents out there that aren't stressing, but for anyone that is stressing with the sheer notifications that are coming through from the schools and wants and requests, just put it aside. So yes, lovely. Thank you. I yield the floor. Sorry about that, Rich. Kind of went on and on for a little bit.
That's all right, man. I think it's important that you read that out.
Yes.
When you read it to me, how many times did I say to you? What was I saying to you? This is a headmaster that wrote this.
Yeah, and that's what's so refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is because, and do you know what? And it made me laugh again. When he said, teachers who can't have perspective at a time like this aren't worth listening to anyway. Oh, that was brilliant.
was. It was so candid, wasn't it? You know, absolutely
just honest,
candid.
isn't it?
I've just seen so many parents kind of sitting with regiment structure, like trying to emulate school. And I'm just like, crikey, it's a godsend that we've got them out of school. I don't want to try and replicate school in any way, shape or form.
My mum would have done. That's what my mum would have done. She would have, if we had been at school, if me and my sister had been at school now, my mum would have been emulating school totally. We would have had the same hours, we'd have had lunch break, you know, exactly the same as at school, man.
Yeah, you know, I suppose it's different strokes for different folks, isn't it? And I just feel like there's so much social pressure to have your children sitting down learning academics and doing it in a structured way. Like the head teacher said, we're not teachers, we're parents. And, you know, shout out to all the parents out there. There's a few girlies in the chat room tonight as well. I know there's a few parents in the chat room. And I think I just caught Dolly saying it as well. Children learn best through play, and she's absolutely right. Yeah, she was a nursery nurse, so you know she knows very well that children learn brilliantly through play. And I think that if there are any parents that have got kind of, you know, unnecessary baggage on their back, weighed down by this kind of burden of having to do this and that, then just relinquish yourself from that, release yourself from it, because there's no need to kind of burden yourself with all of these kind of academic stuff that the school's requiring. And that was from a headmaster. That's on my community section. That's on Double's community section. I've shared it on my Facebook as well. And he's happy to name himself, which I think is wonderful. He's not anonymous. He's, you know, he's completely named himself, which is lovely.
If everything at school had been done, if you could have learned everything at school practically, if we had to do everything with our hands, if it's something that I have to do, if it's a task that has to be completed, or you know, when things have to be done in a certain order or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is that you're doing. If I do it, if I watch somebody else do it and then I do it, it gets locked into my brain. But if I sit there reading a book about how to do it, I could read the book for a year and I still, when I sat down and actually tried to do it, as soon as I sat in front of the thing, I'd be like, I've got no idea how to do this, because I'd never done it. You know, I would have never done it before. A lot of people learn better practically.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree.
that's why play is so effective.
Important. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Shout out to all the new people that are joining into the chat room. Dolly Daydream, Paul on the Plane, Doc Michael, Simon Doherty, Alison as well. Magic is in the chat room as well. Further up, Michael Kilpatrick, Paul from Newcastle. Further up the list as well. Who else did I see? Flatball as well in the chat room. Lovely to see you as well. So shout out to all of you in the chat room. We will jump into the chat room. There's something that I really want to play. National Memorial Gardens, that's who it was. Lovely to see you as well. Ronin the Voice as well. Christopher Lee's as well. First Munch. And if I've missed anyone, I'm going to get back into the chat room. Don't worry. Salted Cedar as well. Shout out to all of you. Thank you so much for showing so much love. Yeah, there is another video. You might know him. He's a content maker called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole.
Ah, Mr. Weiss.
Have a little look see at this, guys.
I have a great deal of respect for Mr. Weiss.
Yeah.
I'd very much like to meet him.
Yes, me too, bro.
Arginus Wonderplanets was an American nutritionist and creator of the raw primal diet. One of the more controversial things he stipulated was the notion that all parasites, bacteria, and viruses are in fact beneficial to people's health. However, for the sake of this video being simple and easy to understand, I'm only going to be focusing on the latter. In relation to the topic of viruses, Wonderplanets claimed that the only way to get a so-called virus was to be injected with it. It's understood that all viruses are non-living, dead protein structures. Arginus's theory was that they are all naturally occurring in the body and perform a special role of being able to dissolve toxic or dead tissue from the body in order to heal.
How many people know that viruses aren't alive? It's been known in the medical profession for years that you don't give antibiotics for a virus because they're ineffectual, because they're not alive. They have no nucleus. They are protein parts. There's no respiration, there's no functionality, there's no glandular activity. They are not alive. But what are they? They are soaps, they are solvents. The body makes them to dissolve tissue in your body that are too toxic for the parasites, the bacteria, and the fungus to eat. Too toxic, like when I had chemo, radiation. Parasite, bacteria, fungus tried to eat into that dead tissue, they were killed because they were poisoned to death from that tissue. So what's all this contagious bullcrap about virus? That's like saying laundry soap is contagious. Well, it's in every home, and everybody uses it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or between 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Most housewives and people do their laundry. So it must be contagious because it's always happening about the same time. That's when colds and flus happen. They happen seasonally for a reason. There are 300,000 varieties of virus. Each one of them takes just a little particle of a cell at a time and disassembles it. And the pharmaceutical industry says, see, it dissolves the cell. No, it's dissolving a specific tissue in that cell. So specific that it can never damage the integrity of that cell. Unless you have many viruses happening at one time because of a highly toxic polluted cell from industrial pollution. And it's usually from the medical profession that happens. But usually 1, 2 viruses are occurring all at one time, only once in a lot of people. So, one person gets, the flu, then the next person gets the flu, and Joe Blow across town's got it, and all of a sudden, all these people start cropping up, and they say it's contagious. That's like saying the first rooster that starts crowing toward the sun is contagious to all the other roosters, because they get up and crow too, Viruses are not contagious.
Shout out to Mr. David Weiss, deep inside the rabbit hole for that one. The link is in the chat room for you. We will also make sure the link is in the description below for you all afterwards. I'll make sure I keep posting that in the chat for you.
You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
What are you going to say? What are you going to say?
Do you remember what we watched the other day?
We've got to give balance to opposing views either way. So what are you going to say? What are you going to say?
Do you know what we watched? Remember what we watched the other day?
We watched a lot of things,
viruses.
right? You have to remind me.
It's this thing about viruses. I forget who it was that said it, but it was taken from research into viruses. This guy back in the 18 or early 1900s, late 19th, early 20th century. This guy said viruses are where the cells are poisoned, and it's where the cells are excreting this stuff because they are being poisoned. So they're excreting this stuff, and that's what the virus is. It's the stuff that's excretion from the cell, and it's linked to electromagnetic frequencies in the air. And there's a link from when they first started doing radio waves, then when they first started doing radar. Every time they've changed the frequencies on the Earth, there's been a flu epidemic 6 months later.
I've heard people saying this. This is talk amongst the people as well, bro. A lot of people have been saying this. What's your thoughts on this in the chat room as well? Because it seems to have the whole community pretty much polarized at the moment. What's going on? One way or the other. People are quite, you know. I don't know. Like, all I know is what a self-evident truth is. I just don't know everything else. Does that make sense? I don't think that makes me any different from anyone else. I just know that I'm being told to stay at home unless it's absolutely necessary to go out and get food and medical supplies, or if I had a key job. Other than that, I'm being told to stay home for something that's either an invisible enemy or not an invisible enemy. It's either killing people or it's not killing people. It's either true or it's not true. But the bottom line is, you've got no work, I've got no work, most of the chat room's got no work, most of the international community's come to a grinding halt, and we're all sitting here going 5G, hoax, disinfo, like either way it's happening, right? I know that sounds a bit flat to say that, but I'm like, you know, I'm all COVID-19 out. Like, shout out to the chat room as well on this. Like, how many people in the chat room are like COVIDed out? I'm like, I'm COVIDed out. I can't get away from it. I'm in my house. I want to go out and do things, but everything's shut because of COVID-19. Life is closed. Life is closed because of it.
And the thing is sitting here and it's like, rah, every single other person on Earth, bar none, pretty much.
It's like, I don't want to joke about, but anything I feel to do.
Every single person in Europe, every single person in America, every single person in well, I don't know what's going on in China.
Do you know when it got real for me? It got real for me when I saw a message from Robin saying that the uni tour for GLOBALIST has been cancelled. I was like, right, that's it. Forget Formula One being cancelled. Forget all of that razzmatazz being cancelled. When I saw the tour getting postponed, I was just like, yeah, I'm trying to like hamper up for the next escapade to Speaker's Corner. And I'm like, who are you kidding? Who you activating to? The police, military. Yeah, do you want to take a leaflet? You know, we've been lied to. Guys is gonna bungle me into a van.
They're just gonna look at you and go, and
you're gonna go, you think you're smart, innit? You think you're smart coming out here doing this. It's not clever and it's not smart. So I'm a bit what's the word? I don't want to say it, but I will. I'm a bit fucksakey. I'm a bit fucksakey about it. I'm
so glad you said that, Rox.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that, because like that's exactly how I feel about it, man.
Don't get me wrong, I'm happy, I'm calm and happy and everything, love and light and all that. But it's like every time I feel to go and like get stuck into something or plan something, or like I'm looking forward to like going to meetups and stuff, and I'm like, or am I? Or are we? Is it? What's good? Are we just doing full blown? And then I think about going full pelt anyway, and just going, oh well, I'll do it anyway. To what? I don't want to do it to no avail. And it's not like I'm obviously, you know, I'll steam forward and plow through regardless. But that's like you saying, well, forget all this COVID-19, Rox. I'm gonna go and play my gig tomorrow. I'm gonna go to who, Rich? To who?
To who?
The venue's not open, mate. That's what I'm saying. The bar's closed.
And
you're in denial if you think you're going work tomorrow.
I'll get stopped at some point. At some point.
Right.
And
Exactly.
that's America's, right? And they'll say, where do you live? And I'll say, Las Barretas. And they'll go, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
What's your valid reason for being here? And I'll be like, and they'll go, and they'll take me down to the cell, and maybe I'll end up like that lad that I heard of who allegedly has gone to prison for 4 months because he didn't respect the quarantine. And the thing is, they are that draconian here because the Policia and the Guardia Civil, they've all got a massive chip on their shoulder, and they're all on a massive crazy power trip.
It's true. Shout out to the chat room. They're putting some great comments in. Tree Poet, get comfortable. This is only the beginning of the chaos. First month,
mate, we haven't even dipped our toes in yet, have we?
Exactly. First month says, Rox, you've been standing there on your own, mate. I can visualize it now. I can Rich, I can see me standing there with a few other globe deniers, just talking amongst ourselves until we get moved on by police. That's exactly how I see it going. And yeah, it's the not knowing, Flatball. I get what you're saying. It is the not knowing, and it's not that none of us don't know. It's just, like I said,
the ambiguity. It's the ambiguity of it.
I've never seen the truth and conspiracy community or whatever, alternative community, bruv, whatever you want to call it. I've never seen it so polarized as it is right now.
Well, do you know what I really appreciate is that no matter what people's opinions are and how much they might differ, people still come into our chat room and they can talk and share their opinions, man.
I'm gonna bring the chat room in as well to give us their opinions as well, bro. Go on, carry on.
But that's the thing. We've gone past. We've moved beyond or risen above the whole. My opinion's right and your opinion's wrong, like, because that's not how it is it? It's I see life my way because I've lived my life. You see life your way because you've lived your life. Both of us are both entitled. Both of our experiences are valid because they're valid to us. It doesn't matter if my experience is valid to you or not. It's valid to me. And so I respect your opinion. I respect your views, and I respect your different outlook on life. It happens that we agree on a lot of stuff. That's beautiful. But I've got friends who I don't agree with, and they don't agree with me, but we're still friends, and we can still talk to each other. And that's what I appreciate about this. What we've managed to start here. I feel like that's what we've managed to get going here.
I agree. I totally agree. I think it has to start somewhere, and this is where our conversation started in the first place. This is why we had these public conversations to begin with, because we were like, why would we have conversations like this in private? Why would we just not put it out there in the public? And now look, 2 years later.
The first time we decided to stream, Rox. The first time we decided to stream, man, do you remember that? For the benefit of the chat room, me and Rox were chatting for a while before we ever started going live together.
Yeah. And the conversations were just too in the red pill.
Too deep, too profound, too bloody.
Yeah. Well said. So you were showing me something before. Oh, actually, I do have something decent to say. For those of you that live in the UK, just before I forget, I'm not doing COVID, but I am doing MOT. So I heard today that the Transport Minister has said if you've got an MOT on your car that's due after the 30th of March this year, you will be able to extend it by 6 months. So I think my MOT is due on my car in June. So I've got until like December to MOT my car now. I don't have to MOT it in June. I can MOT it in December, as long as I keep my car roadworthy and safe. And I will share the link for you all before the end of this stream. But if you living,
you got a tidy motor anyway. You got a German whip, babe. It's gonna be all right.
If you live in the UK and you've got an MOT that's due to be renewed after the 30th of March, you will automatically get a 6-month extension, so you don't have to worry about getting your car MOT just now. It'll be extended by 6 months from the date that you're due your MOT. So yeah, if you're a driver, Yeah.
You're basically getting 6 months free.
Yeah, getting 6 months free. So yeah, after the 30th of March, if you are due an MOT, look into it. You'll be extended by 6 months. And that's any MOT past the 30th. Mine's actually not due until June. Yours may not be due till July, August, September, October. But any time until further notice, until they give an end date, anyone who's got their MOT after the 30th of March can get an extension. So I hope that's a helpful bit of information for you all there. We can, if you press 1, if you actually want current information that's going on regarding borders and that, or if you're all right with having that later, that's great. I think everyone's probably spent most of their day perusing through most of the information anyway. There's nothing really major. If there was, it would have been the first thing that I would have told you guys when we went live. And obviously moving forward, if there is anything that's critical, then we will probably go live impromptu anyway to let you guys know. So yeah, if it's all right with everyone else, we will spin on through. You were telling me, great. So you were telling me before we went live about this infinite waters. What is this infinite waters thing? Because I was still doing pizza with the kids, and I didn't.
Oh right, yeah, okay. Well, so infinite waters, Ralph, he's brilliant. He is, man. He's a good sort of motivator type. Hang on a second. Let me just test something. All right, can you hear me there?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it this mic?
Mm-hmm. Just turn the speaker that I'm coming through down because I can hear myself talking in the background.
This is where I probably need.
Not a problem. While Double O does that, I will give you all a shout out. Ian Adams, Alfie Patching, My View, 1875 Magic, Miss Chime, Doc Michael, Lenny Mears. Lovely to see you all. Burst Munch, Isabella Neal, and Jane of Torquay as well. Lovely to see you too. Michael Kilpatrick still in the chat room. Russell Red in the chat room. And further up the list, we've got Paul from Newcastle there as well. So lovely to see you all. And if you do have any questions for us, please pop them in with a question mark at the end. Hold on. March, April. Yeah, your MOT is April the 11th, so not bothering to redo it for a while. That's exactly, yeah, if your MOT is due April the 11th, then the government are giving you a 6-month extension, so you're going to get an extra free. It just needs to happen after the 30th of March. So where you are April the 11th, My View 1875, you are one of those lucky few that are going to get an extra 6 months. So shout out to you. Truth Seeker as well, shout out to you as well. Victoria Abbott. In Canada, our finance minister is allowed to pass things that usually run through the House. Fine, but until 2021. How long is this farce really going to last? Exactly. There seems to be a lot of different information coming through from different, parts of the international community. Hello, Mr. Meakin. So yeah, keep you abreast. Is as soon as we get information, we'll let you all know whatever we know. Hello, Mr. Meakin.
Evening.
Hello, my darling.
Evening,
how are you?
Evening, Rox. Evening, everyone. Knackered, Rox. Knackered. It's good fun.
Yeah. Busy day?
Yeah, it's like you're on one, aren't we? So, yeah, we're getting there, though. We're getting there. Catching up. Just doctors are taking the piss now. The doctors have announced that they want us to handle all repeat prescription queries whilst doing this as well. They spent 3 years stopping us do this service and only being able to do it for vulnerable patients. So we've all stopped, trimmed our workforce because of it. Mm-hmm. And now because they, for whatever reasons, don't want to do it in this time, they're expecting us to do it. So I've been in a few forums there just trying to get the pharmacist's opinion over that this is not acceptable. We've got enough on.
I mean, how long is that doable for? Are they going to expect you to do that for the foreseeable future or what?
I've no idea, mate. Like I said, they spent the past 3 or 4 years all surgery stopping us doing it. Okay, because apparently we're dishonest.
Oh,
and we're
right.
trustworthy enough, yeah. And now they turn around and want us to carry on doing it. You know, well, I've just categorically stated it's not happening in any of my stores. We've got enough on, and my staff's physical and mental well-being is not being stretched anymore. So I await the response.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm a bit knocked.
You know what, Adam? I'm not surprised. As we can hear you now. I'm not surprised, as the viewers know, that you're pretty much on the front line. I have heard today of well, actually, I've not just heard. Friends of mine have shown me pictures of queues outside my local pharmacies. One of my friends is a key worker, so she was on her way to work today, and she went through quite a few areas to go to work, from South to West London. And on her way, she went through past Boots pharmacies, Lloyd's pharmacies, and the queues were around the block, Adam.
Yeah, it's busy.
Yeah, busy. Busy is the operative word, right?
Yeah.
Adam, I thought with you as you're doing this, because I know that, I'm ever the optimist, and I always think every cloud has a silver lining, and I know that there'll be some beautiful stories that come out of this about the community, you know?
Well, I've been having fun today because all
Good.
the old beers have been rocking up today.
Oh,
lovely day.
Yes,
So
bless them.
I've been telling them all off, Rox. What the bloody hell are you doing here? And come here. So I've had to go round, and we've not got much PPE, but I've been going round and tying up face masks on old ladies, so when they go home they've got that. So yeah, like I said, busy, but people are nice. I only had a couple of divs today. One plumhead coming in, face mask up, going, "You changed me a £10 note, mate."
Great.
So he was firmly told no.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not a change machine. Do you know what I mean?
Nah. And then just one other knobhead, thinking if he shouts, then he'll get his own way quicker. And he was firmly told to eject himself. We're not tolerating any nonsense. It's not done with a smile and a please you can bollocks, frankly.
Yeah.
The customer's not always right.
Yeah. We're so busy that, frankly, there's a sign, we've all been issued with signs. If there's any, it's a bit like the surgeries. We've been used to abuse over the years. You put up with it. You're a shopkeeper. So it's slightly different to your standard doctor surgery counter or casualty unit. We don't behave like that, but we're having to because we haven't got time to humour people's egos, I'm afraid.
So obviously you don't go into detail, but what's been the general gist today with your clients that have been coming in? What's been the need of the customers today? There's a few people in the chat room asking, what have they been in for today then, mainly?
There's the standard provisions of their medicines, their monthly meds. So that's the mainstay. There's still all of the influx. So you got any hand gels, got any gloves, Sold a few toilet rolls today.
Okay.
So all good. So like I say, I managed to get hold of a job lot of those big vending machine ones. So
right. Yeah.
So we're banging them out, Rocks. £2.50, equivalent of 5 rolls. It's cheaper than a 4-pack of Andrex at Ads Chemist.
Okay.
Come on down. And we've got them, and we're just we're trying to provide services on this, not make an extra £100, which is kind of not the point, is it? You know what I mean? So I've managed to get hold of
That's two different things. Providing a service and trying to make a quick buck is two different things. And as long as you are trying to do that, Adam, and provide a service, I'll tell you what, your community is lucky to have you. There's a lot of communities that are getting ripped off just now. I've seen some horrendous videos in South London where they're charging in excess of £15 for 9 toilet rolls and like stupid money for baby milk and stuff like that. And you know what I've noticed in London, guys, this is retrospective. I don't know if anyone else can corroborate this, but definitely in South London, I've got some friends that live in Thornton Heath and Croydon, and just before the lockdown came, like, I thought it was bad where I live. Like, you can't get things for love nor money here anymore. Like just normal stuff like gold dust. Like, the fact that they've regulated the supermarkets, it's a good thing. I think people can stand there like civilized human beings. That's not really a big deal queuing 2 meters apart. In fact, limiting the amount of people that go into the shop. The old lady that lives over the fence, he was out painting his fence, so I stayed enough away from them today. But she said it was lovely. She said, we actually missed the bit where we're able to go in. She said, but even though we were late, it wasn't that bad. We didn't wait that long, and we actually, for the first time today, they went into the shop and got what they needed. And it's been nearly 2 weeks since they've been able to do that. Just get the little bits, the little shopping trolley that they need. And she was in such a good mood. She was talking away to me. She went, oh, sorry, I've got a sink running. She was actually up for the day just because she'd managed. And, Adam, you must know yourself what a psychological difference that makes to someone that's at that point in life. When they want to buy potatoes because they want potatoes for their dinner. I know how staunch my mum was when she had her mindset about what she wanted. If she couldn't do that, it kind of messed the whole day up for her, and mentally as well. And I think, just like what I was reading out before, I think people's mental health right now is what's paramount, above and beyond anything else. There's a lot of people that don't have a lot of money at the moment, don't have a job, aren't able to make their rent. And it's like, okay, that's the situation that's going on with hundreds of thousands of people. Let's just understand that. And like I've been saying for weeks, can we all just handle everybody with a bit of care?
Millions of people, Rox.
There's so many
millions
people that are, it reminds me of the playground, when people go, yeah, well, I know that. And I said that. And it's almost like, yeah, all right. Yeah, hold on. We're all just a bit nervous here on this lifeboat. Can you not move that quickly? Can you just all, and everyone's going, no fear. No one's, I'm not fearing anything, but can everyone just stop rocking the boat just now? And it feels like everyone's rocking the boat and arguing while we're on this little boat that we're on. And no one really knows where we're going. No one needs to know where we're going. No one needs to take ownership of it. It's no one, whatever the truth is going to be about this, it's going to be the truth, whether we like it or not. It's not mine. It's not Adam's. It's not yours. It's not anyone's in the chat room. It's going to be what it's going to be. And it's almost like if we're not all careful, everyone's going to scrap it out so much on the way to dry land here that everyone's going to be so scunnered by the time we get there that there is going to be no community aspect. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm feeling that building, if I'm being honest. We've got a drive-by by the police today. So we're all locking up, and there's obviously like 5 of us leaving. And I don't know if he did see us pulling the shutters down or not, but we're just pulling the shutters down. The old plod goes past. You see his neck spin round as he drove past. And then he gets up the road, sticks his light on, spins round, turns it off, comes then back down, gives us another good neck in, drives into the estate, has another look, and then drives back off. But so the police are definitely looking for any groups of people, any congregation that they're on it, because he obviously realised. Do you know what I mean? Eventually, but would have been nice for him to say hello, guys. But it was noticeable that he'd clocked us straight away, spun the plod car around, and was then straight there to investigate.
Yeah. I've heard similar stories of people that are commuting to work in London. As I said yesterday, a girlfriend of mine had an email from her work because the work had said the likelihood is you are going to be stopped on the way to work, and when you are, produce this. It seems unless you're a key worker, you're asking for trouble going onto road if you've got no business. If you're just going out there to have a quick gander, I wouldn't bother. That's just my if you fancy wasting your time and going into police custody for a whole rigmarole that you really don't need to deal with, I don't know. For me, it's not proving a point to me. I'd be the first one to do it if I thought.
I can see the sort of.
It's like
if I was there, if I was in London,
don't push that red button, Rich. Don't push it. Don't do it.
No, but I can see what, if I was living in London, the desire to go out and see, because it's a bit like 28 Days Later, isn't it? Minus the zombies at the moment.
It's mad. I'll be honest with you. I live in London. I've got friends in South London. I know people in East London. Please, one of you lot come in the chat room. Please, if you're not there already. If you're watching, shout out in the chat room if you're from East London. Hit 1 if you're from East London. Levant, give me a shout. Let me know what things are like in East London just now, and any North London heads in the chat room, press 2. Because I've got word on the street all over the place in South London, from Croydon to Wimbledon. But East London, not really so sure of boots on the ground there. North London, all I know is what I'm hearing. Whereas I can vouch for Southwest London. Southwest London, you've got, honestly, like the Prime Minister said.
Hang on, because we've got southeast, northeast, and northwest now. We still because we've done south, northwest, and east. You're southwest.
I've got from 6 to 9 covered on the clock. I've just don't have from like 9 all the way back round to 6 o'clock. So I can
please, anyone in London, if you're in London, give us a shout out. Like
Jane of Torquay. Jane of Torquay, if you press 1, I'm gathering you're from somewhere over in East London, or were from East London. Alfie Patchin, shout out to Alfie Patchin. So I'll make this easy for you. See if you can interact with me now. Alfie Patchin, with what we're saying, what's the movements over your ways? Unless you're a key worker, you're able to go and dip your toe in the water and go and have a gander outside and not get into too much strife with the law.
With the plod?
Yeah, with the plod, with the old gather.
Sorry.
I'm interested to know, because as I said, I don't advocate for it. I won't be doing that myself. I won't be going out and having a gander myself. I'm not asked with it. I'm really not. Yeah, I thought so.
The busies, yeah. The filth.
Big hugs to you, Jane, darling. Big hugs to you. But yeah, anyone from North or East London, let us know what the situation is, because I can only vouch for my ends, and London's a big place. Yeah, Alfie, it's the same over here. So yeah, it's dead out there. It's dead out there. No one's out. I don't think anyone's up for doing dipping toes and trying to make an example of themselves at this moment in time, because I don't know where that path goes. I wouldn't advocate for it. I don't know about anyone else, but that's just my take on it. If you're able to still have freedom of movement before we were told to not, then still go and do as you please. But that's just my take on it. Adam, what about you? I mean, I know you're a key worker, but if you weren't a key worker, would you be going out there and just having ganders and that?
I'm a key worker. I'm not feeling the need to drive around and go, woohoo, look at me. What do you want to, why? What are you going to do?
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you get stopped, that's what they're going to say to you, isn't it? What you doing? And then when you go, I'm just having a drive.
I'm just having a laugh, innit?
I don't know.
Roads are all clear, isn't it? I'm just having a laugh.
I mean, I'd be interested to find out, but not because I've done it. Do you know what I mean? And not because anyone I know's done it. Do you know what I mean? I'd be interested to see what happens, but not by anyone I know or care about. And I care about everyone, even if I don't know them. So puts us in a bit of a quandary, doesn't it?
Well, I'll tell you what, Rox. Did you check out that video that I put up? I put it up quick last night. It's just a compilation of those videos that came from America that we haven't really sourced properly. We don't know exactly where they came from, but it was the guy that I rent my car off of. His friend in America sent me the pictures, and it was pictures of it was the army dispersing people on the beach.
Wait, what video is it, Rich?
Let me send you the link again.
Okay, cool. I've been sent a video by Anthony Riley as well, showing me. I'll be honest with you though, I just want to handle this with care as well.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be about I just want to cast everyone's mind back to a few weeks ago when we were all, you in the chat room as well that were there, we were all talking about propaganda and what the likes of propaganda could possibly be with this scenario. And I do remember mentioning at one point about Uncle Sam churning out the propaganda videos, and we can expect propaganda videos to kind of do the scare tactic that's necessary. I do think that, I know we've mentioned last week about the phone contracts. I do think there is something to be said for that, because if those reports are accurate and all of those millions of contracts have been cancelled, then yeah, why have they all been cancelled? Again though, for me, it still doesn't change the fact that we're all not being told to go to work. Okay, it's almost like the globe lie all over again. It's I don't need to know what's going on to know what's not happening. I know what's not happening right now, and while things aren't happening, we all know that life's not the same just now.
Life's on pause, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Everything's on pause.
I'm going to
tell you
grab.
what's not happening, Rox.
Go on, Adam.
I walked out today and I looked and I thought about yesterday and a few days before, and I was starting to be corrected, but I ain't seen a chemtrail in a while. I've seen contrails, but they are all melting.
You know what? Right, it's been really cloudy here, but they've been normal clouds the last couple of days, and we've had rain today as well.
I haven't seen the moon for about 4 or 5 days.
I saw it a couple of days ago.
Random. I checked. Anyone else seen the moon?
On that? No, Martin. Martin was saying about it.
I was thinking Dave Marsh might be saying something in a minute, because I thought, well, where is it?
I'll tell you what, there's a
I checked
really
and it's still saying full moon.
Bright star.
New moon.
Nowhere. Sorry, Rich. Yeah, go on.
So yeah, there is. I've noticed, and I've noticed it over the last. I mean, I've noticed it a couple of times over the last couple of months, but the last few nights it's been right outside my door here, and it is so bright. It's ridiculous how big and
it's
bright
not been
the
anywhere
star
in
is.
my sky.
No.
It looks like I took a video. I took a video of it, I think.
Yeah. So what's good with that then, guys? Because I had a really, really clear sky last night. I could see the Big Dipper. I could see Orion's Belt. I could see the Seven Sisters, and I'm going 360. I'm going. No moon, no moon for days. And I take Kenny out every single night. So I look. Full moon is in 2 weeks, possibly. Yeah, Alfie says no moon as well. Where is the moon? Hashtag where's the moon? Where's the moon, guys?
It is new moon, but
right, here you go. Here's the you don't really see how big it is or how bright it is, but because you know it's on my phone.
Yeah, we're getting quite a lot of reflection from the screen. But you can see it. You saw it though. You've got eyes on the moon, yeah, where you are.
Yeah, the easiest thing would be to send you this, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
To send you this link. It's only 14 seconds long. I can send it to you on Skype.
So what's your take on this then, Adam? I think it's a bit dodgy.
The moon is 2.1% waxing crescent. And when I got my app out, it's apparently under my arse right now, the moon, so I can't see it. But that would not be correct. If Rich can see it, it would be under my arse.
This isn't the moon. This is a star. This is a star, but it's huge.
Oh, that huge one. Isn't that Venus? No?
No, this
I think Venus is up in the sky, high.
And in Venus you only see in the morning. Venus is low on the horizon, and you see it in the morning, like in the early hours of the morning. It's like 6 o'clock.
Okay, I'm going to just share the screen real quick so that you guys can see this.
Jupiter's really bright. Jupiter's a really bright star.
No, is it Jupiter that's out?
But no, listen, I've been watching the stars my entire life. This is way bigger than Jupiter. Like the fact that
that's massive. That is big.
Right, unfortunately, the clouds came out and covered it. So you have to just play it again. I was going to make a video of it where I just repeated it. But I mean, if you pause it there and you see how
it is
huge.
Big. It is. It's big. I know it might just look like a white dot on the screen to you guys, but that's big. That's big. So, again, guys, I'm going to go through both of you just now before we play the next clip for the next video. What's your take on the next 24 hours for you? And I don't mean crystal ball. What does the next 24 hours hold for you, Adam?
Well, actually, it's half day tomorrow, so I'm going to shut the shop at lunch. Tidy up, disinfect, then come home and chill out for a bit with the family. To probably do what everybody else is doing, just sitting at home.
Chill mode.
Hopefully enjoying a bit of time with realising the kids have gone and they're ignoring me again. Oh, things are back to normal a bit. I'm probably looking forward to what everybody else is getting pissed off with already.
A bit of downtime.
But hopefully, so things are, people are behaving well. Like the only thing we're seeing is just a little bit of defiance, isn't it? And you got to expect that, I suppose. But like I say, it's less and less each day. Another thing I noticed in the shop today, that there was only one certificate. Oh, guys, come on. Don't need 15 people trying to get in. And everybody went, oh, shit, yeah, realised. No descent. Everybody just automatically spaced.
Nice.
So people are cooperating. It's not...
Yeah. No, that's a little bit hopeful, Adam. I like the sound of that. It looks like things are going in the right direction if that's how things are going, and we're not hearing you having to deal with horrendous behaviour. So that does.
There's always there's less knobheads now than there has been in my day job. If I'm being honest, it's just now we're allowed to go out, don't have to deal with it. Do you know what I mean? So before we'd have to go through a thorough complaints procedure following NHS protocols. We would have to write letters and discuss it. You know what I mean? So.
Well, at least you're not having to deal with any of that kind of crap. So it could be worse. Yeah. Guys, I want to thank you all for your comments in the chat room as well. I am loving seeing your interactions there. I promise I will jump into the chat room soon. Adam, how long have we got you for?
Well, I'm not in a rush, but what time is it?
It's
another half hour. Now I'm going to crack on. But yeah, I'm enjoying the downtime. So.
Oh, good. Well, hopefully this will be kind of uplifting, because Double O was telling me about this Infinite Waters. So I want him to kind of tell us about Infinite Waters, if that's all right.
Yeah. So Infinite Waters, Ralph is a really funny guy. He's a really nice guy. He's English. I think he's living. It looks like he's living in the Caribbean or somewhere, but I don't know. He's got a lot of subscribers. He's got a massive channel, and most of what he's doing, it's all positive affirmation stuff. So it might trigger some people. He's very funny to listen to. He's got his patter is, he starts off, he goes,
I think we need a bit of that.
Peace. Infinite waters diving deep. He says, he goes, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Here's some good energy. Take that. It's funny. It's the same patter at the start of all of his videos.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of comforting, It's like, oh, he's got such a genuine, nice, genuine smile on his face.
Yeah.
And personally, it resonates what he says. It resonates with me, because I think that we are much more involved in creating our reality through the state of being, through our state of being. That's why I go on about perception and having controlling your own perception, because it helps to balance your state of being. You have to be careful about what you're perceiving, if it's subjective or objective perception, because subjective perception, whilst it's totally possible and it's okay, that's your right, that's your free will. Subjective perception is your free will, but objective perception is something that has to be taken into consideration in some circumstances. But anyway, this guy is just a very, very positive guy, and I thought it's a nice positive message to people.
Nice. And I'm just going to respond to DJ Obsession. Noel is just dealing with Marnie at the moment, darling. So he will join the stream if he can, but obviously family first. So he's dealing with baby girl just now.
They're not there. They won't be there right now, but they will be after the show. There will be links to everything. There'll be a link to this video. Please go and subscribe to Infinite Waters and to Ralph. Tell them the Really Woke Show sent you.
Nice. Nice. Right. So I'll share the screen now and add that to the... All right, Kenny. Bless him. Kenny wants into the stream. Hold on, Kenny. Okay.
Kenny boy.
You deep divers, everything will... A gentle reminder from me to you, deep divers, everything will be okay. Even if it doesn't look like it right now, 4 words to put in your mind right now. This too shall pass. Yes, deep divers, the cat down the road wants you to know every little thing is gonna be all right, because this too shall pass. The universe is like, don't worry about it. You've got this. Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers, we are out here in nature, baby. Gorgeous day, deep divers. The sun just keeps blessing us. We got the beautiful sun out. We got beautiful birds everywhere. We got the cat down the road over there. It's a gorgeous day, deep divers. I'm in a good mood. I'm just, woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. We are raising the vibration and the frequency. I'm sending you tons of good ass energy. Take that, take that, take that. Deep divers, let love guide you, not fear. This too shall pass. Right now, it's kind of tense on the planet. A lot of people are nervous. A lot of people are looking a little bit shaky, baby. And I'm here to tell you, deep divers, this is your confirmation that everything will be okay. This video will leave you speechless. No. Deep divers, this video will leave you reassured. No. This video, deep divers, is going to make you do a little samba, baby, after you finish watching it. Okay, now someone actually messaged me. They're like, Ralph, right now I am looking a little bit shaky, baby. There is so much tension right now on the planet because of this lockdown, this coronavirus, this COVID-19. And I love your videos, Ralph. You've really helped me get through this period. But can you make a video about how we will all know that everything is going to be okay? Absolutely. Absolutely, deep divers. And we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello there? Now, wonderful deep divers, let me share with you what's helped me along my journey. Your confirmation that everything will be okay. Even if it doesn't look like it right now, I guarantee you that peace will be restored on planet Earth for all you human beings. Now, first and foremost, shout out to my mama. That's right, shout out to my mother, deep divers. My mother has been a nurse for over 30 years, and she's a key worker, okay, in the UK right now, and she is helping a lot of people. Thank you, Mom. And she's also a senior health visitor. Okay, so just lend a thought to all the nurses, all the key workers who are still working in this time, putting themselves at risk, helping other people to get well, helping the elderly who need it the most, okay? They deserve our support, respect, and admiration. What? Slow motion this side. Now, deep divers, this is your confirmation everything will be okay. We are all being put to the test right now on the planet. We are being faced with a huge, that's an understatement, huge pandemic right now with this coronavirus, this COVID-19. Much of the world is under a state of lockdown, a state of emergency. And if you weren't worried before, a lot of people are worried right now because they may know someone. It could be your auntie, it could be your uncle, and you're worried for them. And you're also worried for yourself. You're worried for your children. Schools are closed, okay? Earth has not experienced this before. The planet has not experienced this before, this kind of outbreak. A lot of people are in a wild panic, pandemonium on the planet, uncertainty on the planet. But deep divers, I'm here to remind you as a guide, this is your confirmation. Everything will be okay. Right now, there are 500,000 cases of the coronavirus. Right now, the death toll has reached over 20,000. I know it doesn't seem that it's going to be okay, Ralph, because right now, it seems that this coronavirus is going to be here forever. But deep divers, I'm here to remind you that this too shall pass. We will all get over this. We will all rise above this coronavirus. A lot of people say, Ralph, thank you so much for your videos. You are needed right now more than ever. And I appreciate that. But I'm here to remind you too, deep divers, that you are also needed here more than ever. The reason why I come out into nature, okay, because everyone is in quarantine right now. The reason why I come into nature every single day is because nature reminds me that ain't got shit to do with me. You see, Mother Nature is fine. It's not going to be under attack by any virus because it was here before us. It's us that are in danger. It's that have to have a reality check. It's us. We have to start getting right with nature because this is happening for a reason. It's a wake-up call that we all have to do better on the planet. We have to start respecting Mother Nature. This is the karma that's come back to bite us in the ass. Now, everything will be okay, deep divers. When you realize you are not a victim of circumstance, you are a co-creator of your own reality. What? Slow motion this time. I was on the Instagram live, deep divers, and someone's like, the virus is not in the 5D. Okay, I had to do a slow motion for that one, right? Deep divers, you aren't a victim. A lot of people right now feel like victims, but I'm not a victim, deep divers. I'm a co-creator of my reality. My thoughts create my reality. That's how you know everything is going to be okay. You've got a choice every single day, deep divers. You can tune into fear, which is the lowest frequency, and be overwhelmed, bombarded by this COVID-19, read all the news stories, watch all the news stories, and put yourself in a further state of panic. Or you can tune into the love frequency and realize that, hey, what good is it if I'm always stressing and worrying about this coronavirus? What good does it do? Nothing at all. So you have to only focus on what you can control. You can't control the coronavirus. What you can control is your internal condition. So instead of panicking, start meditating every single day for 1 hour, and that will reassure you everything will be okay. Deep divers, I'm not worried in the slightest because I know the universe works in my favor. I'm 33. The universe has got my back. You have to place your trust in the universe. You have to place your trust in yourself. You have to realize that you will get through this. But it begins, deep divers, when you realize that you are not a victim. Life is not something happening to you. Life is something which is responding to you, your words, your thoughts, and your actions. So that's how you know everything will be okay when you move out of the victim mode. You are stronger than you think. Deep divers, this is your confirmation that everything will be okay. This is your confirmation that you will get through this because it's all a test. And now the universe wants to see how strong you are, because you've been reading all of those self-help books, right? Now this COVID-19 is putting everyone through the test. What? Slow motion this side. We all have to become mentally stronger right now to realize that we are more powerful than a virus. We can triumph over any adversity, and we can still be smiling, still be shining, and still be living our best lives. Right now, a lot of people are sad. I'm celebrating, deep divers, because I'm grateful. That's how to know everything will be okay. Always keep your sense of gratitude. It's a beautiful day, deep divers, blue skies, birds out. I'm not going to allow COVID-19 to take away my smile. No, this is priceless, deep divers, right? That's how you know everything will be okay. Also, why so serious? Like, I know right now, the whole planet, human beings on the planet are in panic, but there are still so many things to be grateful for. There are still so many beautiful things happening on the planet. And you have to remind yourself that, hey, I can't be in fear 24/7. I have to start trusting the process. Deep divers, that is how to know everything will be okay for you right now. You have to learn how to trust the process. Deep divers, 7-day vegan challenge. Now, a lot of people loved, okay, my 7 plant foods that will boost your immune system and clear mucus out of your body, okay? Because right now with this COVID-19 going around, you really need to be taking care of yourself, making sure you are eating a plant-based diet, immune boosting foods, turmeric, oranges, apples, blueberries, bananas, leafy greens, kale. You want to be making sure you are consuming a lot of vitamin C rich foods. Also, letting that sun hit your face, because you need the vitamin D now more than ever. There's a reason why COVID-19 is not in Africa, because they're like, ain't nobody got time for that. We got the sun out, and the sun is your greatest defense against COVID-19. But also, deep divers, basic hygiene. That's how to know everything will be okay. Wash your hands. For goodness sakes, wash your hands, deep divers, okay? There's always a bit of good that comes out from the bad, right? Because now everybody is washing their hands, should be washing their hands. Please wash your hands, deep divers, okay? Take care of yourself. Take care of your immune system, and your whole body will take care of you. Oh, baby. That's how to know everything will be okay. Don't take chances. Don't cut corners. Deep divers, you aren't alone. You are not alone. Deep divers, I'm a singer right now in the heart of nature. You aren't alone. We are all in this together. This is your confirmation that everything will be okay. I want you to realize that you aren't the only one going through this panic on the planet, this anxiety, this nightmare. In fact, my sister was like, Ralph, it seems like it's something out of a novel, okay? Yeah, right now, much of the world has never ever experienced something like this. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows how to deal with it. It's all very new and foreign. But I'm here to remind you, deep divers, united we stand, divided we fall. What? Slow motion this side. I'm still doing videos. Coronavirus is not stopping me. Oh my gosh, deep divers. COVID-19 is not stopping me. You've seen me be the most consistent YouTuber in the world. Video after video after video, inspiring millions. And it's only because the universe is working in my favor. That's how I know everything will be okay. The universe has my back. We are all in this together, deep divers. So realize that this is a great time to talk to family, talk to friends. Okay, you can still do that social distancing thing if you want. That's your choice. But realize that you don't have to suffer in silence. Deep divers, I'm here for you. Deep divers are here for other deep divers. We need community more now than ever. We need community more now than ever. We need community more now than ever, deep divers. That's your confirmation everything will be okay when you start realizing the importance of community. Deep divers, become an alchemist. That's how you know everything will be okay in a time like this of uncertainty, panic. Remind yourself you have to become an alchemist. What is alchemy? Alchemy.
So I'm going to stop him right there because it's getting a bit glitchy for some people. So I'll bring it back to the feed.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And also, Roxanne, I want a couple of times I wanted to just jump in. I think this is like a 25-minute video anyway. We should get people to go and watch the rest of that video.
No worries. I'm going to share the link in the stream now. Go for it, bro.
Guys, anybody who's been like paying attention and listening to me and Rox, this is what we've been trying to say. Like, I know we talk about all kinds of stuff, but one of the things that I try to ram home to everybody is that we've told our entire lives that we've got free will, and we think that means that we can say yes and no to things, but that's not what free will is. Free will is like, actually you are entitled to perceive what's happening to you in whatever way you choose, and it's really difficult to have control of that of your perception. And one of the reason that we try to tell people about the fact that they're teaching us lies is because it's separated us from the from knowledge of real, what's real, what's actually real. So what we're living in is actually a subjective. We all have subjective perception. Sorry, let me start again. Anybody that still believes in the globe is living with a subjective perception of reality. It's a subjective perception that's been pushed and indoctrinated and programmed into everybody, but it's a subjective perception, because the reality is that Earth is observably flat. That's not what this is meant to be about. What we've been trying to say is that you have control over your perception. And like I was saying to everybody about Trump, I went hard on people that were being hard on me about my perception of Trump. And I said, hang on a second, I can't do anything about it. No matter which way I choose to perceive him, I can't do anything about it. So the only thing that perceiving him as bad does is make my reality a scarier, more unpleasant place. And my state of being is more in a state of fear. So I chose to look closer and deeper at what he's said and all of his interviews in the last 30, 40 years. And using discernment, I chose to change my perception from the one that I was programmed to have. And the reality is that, so it's less scary. The world is a less scary place. The whole Q plan and all of this stuff, it's difficult, man. It's difficult to put your faith in it because it's like, oh, hang on a second, because you're saying this thing, but it looks like this is happening. So we're meant to have faith that's it's the Q. Forget the bloody Q plan. We were created. The Earth isn't a globe. It's observably flat. It's stationary and motionless. We were created to live in this Earth, and everything that Ralph Smart is saying is true, man. You have control of your reality. You don't have control of my reality. You don't have control of Roxanne's reality, but you have control of your reality. And if you can make your reality a more pleasant place to exist in, then it means that your state of being is much more balanced. You're not in a state of fear. You're in a content, grateful, and happy with what you've got state, which is a much easier place to create from.
I like that. Adam, what do you think?
Well, there was a lot of stuff that resonated with me, what he said.
Me too. Me too.
The main thing being guiding people to a little bit of meditation. Given the opportunity now, it's a very powerful tool for quietening the mind and just getting you back to reality, or helping you define your reality. I thought it was cool. I mean, if I'm being critical, deep divers, I thought it was a little bit evangelical for my liking. It reminded me of a trip to a Ghanaian church, but
he's very.
The message he was giving.
His patter is funny.
Yeah, it was top. He sounds a top lad, doesn't he? But the message he was giving for me was solid. I'm not sure about his guarantees, but I'll bank them. And hope I never have to say he was wrong. I'm praying I don't. You know what I mean? But
do you know what? That guarantee comes from the no doubt, because you're not allowed. If you're going to manifest anything at all, the only way it can manifest is if you know it will happen. That's the only way it manifests. So the only way I ever got my parking spaces was because I just know that they were there, and they were there 100% of the time. 100% of the time they were there. When you know it, and it's really difficult to big things like this, it's almost impossible to. How can I know that, man? How can I possibly know that? So I get what you're saying. Sorry to interrupt you, man.
I think I thought it was a good guy. Like I say, for me, the only a little bit intense for me when I'm trying to relax and get into that stage. But then I said the message.
Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Here's some good ass energy. Take that. It's so funny, man.
We have a fair bit. I'm not averse to the viewpoint of prana and viewing it like that. We had James True on. I'm a big friend of the realm. Shout out James True. If you want to learn about prana, go and speak to him. I say there's a lot of stuff that resonated with me. And I think, his viewpoint, his reality doesn't necessarily match directly with mine. But I think what he was saying in terms of a positive outlook at this time is essential, not only for your mental well-being, but that knock-on effect that it has physically.
Let me tell you a little background about Ralph. He's been doing his channel for a few years now. And when he first started it, he was laughed at. All of his friends and his family and they were like, "What are you doing, man? What are you doing?" And he always knew, right? He had this handle on manifestation a long time ago, and he always knew that this is what he was going to be doing. and he put all of his energy and all of his emotion, all of his visualization, everything. He put everything into it, and now he's got a channel with 1.6 million subs, I think, and he lives in the Caribbean or somewhere, and he's got, you know, he's doing well for himself, and it could really be argued that that is through his own manifestations that he's managed to get to where he is now. Now, his own manifestations can only control his own reality, and now everybody else's reality is creeping in on his. And the thing is, I mean, the way that I manifested my reality, I came far away from everybody I knew, and I'm out here in the middle of, you know, on an island, little island just off the west coast of Africa, and my reality was able to manifest here, the one that I was visualizing for myself my entire life. It's where because you know where you're saying like parts of his reality, they don't match with yours. It's like my reality doesn't match with yours either, does it, Adam?
No.
None of our reality.
No, they're all our own,
that,
aren't they? They're all our own. Appreciating
but even
other people helps you define your own better. If you stop trying to make your reality other people's, and they take from what they say and what resonates with you when they say it, don't try and take what doesn't resonate with you. What use is that, letting that knock around?
No.
Like I say, I wasn't being critical of him there. Clearly you can see I say what he was saying, there was some really great points, and there were some bits that I'll take from it that was like not necessarily for me, but for me, what he is doing is positivity, and that's what we all need.
That's it.
We need to think, and like say, Rich, I agree, you know, manifestation and saying you're going to do something, this is what is going to occur, is in, I speak from experience right now. Yeah, I am this is going to happen. This is what's going to happen. This is, you know, if you take charge of a situation, you envisage it, and this is how it will play. Of course, you know, you're given challenges on the way to develop even more, but generally things play out in a way. If you're not being greedy, you can't go, I want to be a millionaire. You can't do that, but you can say, I'm going to achieve something positive. And actually, if you do set with that mindset, you are correct.
But I'll tell you what though. I'll tell you what, Adam. If you were to go out and if you and a group of people were to all truly go out with the intention of bringing money to lots of people who needed it, right, and you were able to do it without being corrupted by that money yourself because of the influx of money that will come, right, then I truly think that you will by default become a millionaire, you know, because you will need to become a millionaire to be able to give all the money out, but you're only going to get that money if that's what if that's what you're going to do with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm getting at? Like, you can be a millionaire, but you can only be a millionaire if you're going to give it all away.
No, I can give it.
Like, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire to help people. So you become a millionaire and you help everybody, and then if you do that, you will be rewarded.
No,
like if you've done it.
You want me to share? I'll share something with you, Rich. I could walk away from it all and be a millionaire. I'm struggling month to month as I make sure everything and everybody else is paid for, and I owe the bank a lot of money, but compared to what I've built things up to being, I'm a bit like the poor man's Mike Ashley. Yeah. And actually got I could sell it all up and fuck off to Italy. Yeah, and never have to worry about a penny ever again. But I think that's the point. What riches would I have then? I'd have nothing. I feel so blessed right now because this is real.
Yeah, you're in a position that you can actually help the community. It's almost like you're now the person you've been waiting to be all your life.
And the million quid, the million quid doesn't matter, does it? At the end of the day,
I could have
it's
it.
not about
I could,
that.
mate. I'm being honest with you. I could have that. That's not what this is about. I could have done that years ago. I've not carried on. I mean, a bit of pressure from the missus because what we're going to do with the kids. But sod that. If I wanted to, like, have my opinion, the family would consider it. You know what I mean? But it's not about that. I trained for years, and I love my community, and thank God I didn't. Thank God I'm there now, and and they trust me, and I'm able to work with them and get through them together. And that's what life isn't about accruing anything physical. It's about experiences for me and opportunities to develop. And I'm being given a lot, you know what I mean? But you're never given more than you can handle.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's I know that from a lot. I've watched documentaries, and I've had enough conversations with elderly people, you know, people that are in the last couple of years of life, and everybody says the same. From rags to riches, the most important thing is in life is those you've loved and those that have loved you.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Adam, before we wrap up for tonight, can you do me a favor and answer Dominic's question, please?
No.
It doesn't a virus weaken the more people it goes through?
No.
Put
simply, it doesn't do one or the other or anything. What it does, sometimes it may mutate, sometimes it may not, but it's virulence in terms of humans. It remains the same as it always has been. Obviously, each individual is slightly more or less susceptible as they originally were. A mutation may occur. That, like I say, may make it exactly the same, but slightly different. It may make it worse. It may make it slightly less reduction, mortality rate. So there isn't an answer to that.
Okay, but thank you for that, my darling.
Could it be said that, like, if you have an enclosed community where there's an outbreak of one particular strain of coronavirus, that virus would work its way around, and everybody that caught the virus and got through it would have built up an immunity to it. So by the time that it would get to the point where everybody would have antibodies against that virus. Is that I mean, I think that's where that thought train might have been coming from.
Well, you can't do that with a lockdown. The purpose of this is to prevent exposure, and therefore all of those lockdown won't be exposed, and therefore won't generate antibodies. So
that's the difference between the delay and between the contain and delay, wasn't it?
Yeah, that'll be the next. That'll be the selling point of the virus, of the vaccine that comes out in 18 months, won't it?
That remains to be seen, doesn't it? This is one to watch, right? I feel like we do just need to get our popcorn out, sit back and enjoy the movie. We've all been told to go home and to stay home, so let's just not fuck this up. I'm, for one...
Think of it this way, man. Think of it this way. You've been told to bunk off work. You've been told to bunk off school. You've been told to kick back and take it easy. Stop arguing about it. Stop fighting with it. Just, man, I don't know how long this is going to last. And when I try and think about it, I'll be honest, I start to get anxious. I don't want to be anxious. Anxiety has no place in my reality anymore. I'm going to take each day as it comes, because that's all we can do, because things are changing on a day-to-day basis. So you take each day as it comes. You treat each day as a moment in time. That's all it is one moment in time. It's a 24-hour period of a week or a month or a year. And as you move out, that thing gets smaller and smaller, doesn't it? A 24-hour period of a week is quite a percentage, but 24 hours in a year is nothing. So each day is a moment in time, and all we've got to do is navigate these moments. We're in a ship, we're all in the same boat. We just got to navigate these moments. The water might get quite bad, and I love the fact that Q used white school because it's perfectly fitting. Please, if you haven't watched it, right? If when you saw the trailer, and even when we've talked about it, you heard us talking about it, and you go, "Oh yeah, I saw the trailer. That I don't want to see that. It's just a bunch of idiots, you know." And the cam, you know, the you can see that they're on a set. You can see the boat isn't really in the sea, and it's not very good effects. I'll tell you what, man, the acting in that film is absolutely spot on. It's really good, and the storyline is so fitting.
Not like anyone's busy doing anything else, Rich. It's not like, so yeah, I'd agree with you, Rich. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's White Squall, and for real, everyone's bread and circuses are being removed. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. And if you have watched it, or you think you've watched it, watch it again. Watch it again,
man. Watch it again with new eyes. Watch it again and think about it in these terms. Every single one of us has come from a completely different walk of life. Every single one of us, our perception of reality is different.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert!
No, this isn't a spoiler. This isn't a spoiler alert.
Oh, that's good because I've planned to watch it, Rich, at the weekend because you guys have been. So yeah. I've planned for me.
White School.
He said
it's not. This isn't a spoiler alert, isn't it, Rox? I'm not spoiling anything.
No, you're not. You're not. We did show you all the trailer. We showed you all the trailer.
Yeah, we showed you the trailer, man.
In the trailer, but yeah. And anyone in the chat room, don't do any spoiler alerts in the chat room, guys.
No, it's basically it's just
it's a good analogy.
Now the situation. It's a good analogy for what's going on now because the situation we're in now, we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, we are.
We're all from different walks of life, and we've all got to keep it together, man.
That's right.
And we're a crew, right? We're a crew, and there is a skipper, right? But what we have to try and have faith in is that the skipper is the Most High. You get to speak to the skipper, but you can't always hear it when he's talking to you. You just you got to follow stay true to your heart, man.
It is. It's a must watch.
True to your heart.
Well said, bro. It is.
Well said, Rich.
It really is, guys. Watch it. If you haven't watched it already, please watch it. Is there any final thoughts that you have for tonight before we wrap up?
Yes.
Go on.
Yes.
I'm just going to write that in the chat.
Robert Sepper video. We don't have time to watch it. We're not going to go and watch it. But I'd like to point everybody in his direction once again. Please tell him Really Woke Report sent you, right? And ask him to come on our show. Cool. He's an anthropologist. The guy's an anthropologist. He's a trained, fully indoctrined anthropologist who saw through the cracks. And
what's his name again, Rich?
Robert Sepper.
Oh yeah, Atlantean Garden.
EEHR, Atlantean Gardens. Yes.
Yeah, legend Robert.
Yeah. So thank you for backing that up.
No, Robert is absolutely outstanding. His knowledge, the depth, and the detail.
His knowledge, the way he delivers it. Right, the guy he always at the beginning of his videos, he has some nice music playing, and then you see him. He walks into the shot and he sits down. He reads a book or he's walking his dog or whatever, and the guy is so self-conscious. You know, he knows the camera's on him and he's not comfortable in front of the camera.
He can't walk, can he?
He's not comfortable.
He knows before his gait's shocking, isn't it, when he's being filmed? He's like, I know I'm being filmed.
He's a bit like a robot, isn't it? Yeah. It's like somebody that walks with their arm and their leg in the same, like that. Yeah. That used to happen to people when we were marching in the cadets. That used to happen. It was quite funny. But yeah, he's such a lovely guy, man. And he's honest. He's absolutely honest, and he's seen all these cracks. I'm trying to find this video. It's
will you do me a favor and share it in the chat room for everybody?
Yeah. I actually shared it to you earlier today, didn't I? Let me find it.
Shout out to everyone in the chat room as well. Shout out to Ranty. I think I am being shadow banned. A lot of people are telling me I'm not on, even when they look for me. They've got to go right to my channel to find my content. no matter how many times I'm sharing it, guys, I'm being really, you know, obviously, as Adam was explaining yesterday, I think we're all aware that they've got bots dealing with it now. So yeah, not really sure what to say about that. I'm going to try and weather the storm regardless. While Rich does that, I'm going to give
the chat for you the Atlantean Gardens website for Robert Saffer. Stuck it in.
Nice
one. Jubbly.
The link that I've just shared.
Adam's popped that below there, so that's the link that Adam was just talking about.
Is that which video is that to? Is that
that's just to his channel, Rich?
Right, yeah. It's this particular video I want people to go and watch, right?
Which one?
Meeting.
I'm getting excited.
Meeting with the gods.
Okay, so the Nephilim stuff.
No, it's not. I can't. Oh man, it's what. That's the thing. He wasn't talking about what I thought he was going to be talking about when it started. Hang on, I'm trying to find.
No worries. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to give a shout out to the chat room, and I'm going to line up the outro video. Pat Riot, thank you so much for tuning in, my darling. And to Alfie Patching, thank you so much for still being here with us. And to Russell Red and to Isabella Neal, Jane of Torquay, beginning to see Ranty, Ian Adams in the chat room as well. Lovely to see you all. Christopher Lees, Owen 1, Nick GB, My View 1875. Lovely to see you as well. Dagon Morningstar 2. Lovely to see you as well. Reverend Hull, Dominic Morton. Lovely to see you as well in the chat room. Big hugs to you. Doc Michael and Alison. Lovely to see you still there in the chat room as well. Flatball, Miss Chime, and to Astro King as well. Great to see you still in the chat room too. And to everyone else in the chat room, if I've missed you, so sorry, I'm not gone too far up too quickly. But jump in the chat room if you want to shout out M Sutherland. No worries. Tune in back tomorrow, and we will be back on your screens tomorrow at 8 p.m. GMT. And if
I'll be on in the afternoon at some point, probably around 2 or 3 o'clock. I'll start.
Beautiful.
With a live 2 hours live music.
Wonderful.
So think about requests and stuff. It's digital busking with 007 digital busking. Hashtag D07DB.
Nice. Luke Kennedy as well. Shout out to you, my darling, and to Jesse Enns as well. Shout out to you as well, Ian Adams too. Lovely to see you still in the chat room.
Adam, media are blocking it for you, man.
Not fair.
No way.
Adam, anything you want to wrap up with before we finish?
Just a couple of quick apologies. I sent a few people over last. Iron Realm did go live last night. An old friend of ours from back in the day before I even joined Hack. It was like old times, Rox, arguing the Bible stuff with him. When you can get a word in with Hack, that's the issue. So really good fun. But I'm going to head over there now. But just I'll speak to you all tomorrow and
take care, my
keep calm.
Thank you.
I'm relaxed. My wine delivery arrived today, so thanks to Ranty. I've now stockpiled 20 bottles, which I'm good till next Wednesday. Now I'm good till
Blooming marvelous. Well, if it's all right with you, I will share a link with you tomorrow. If you can keep on chiming in and keeping us abreast of what's going on, and letting us know that everything's going to be all right, like 00 said. Yeah.
God bless, guys. Good night.
Beautiful. All right, my darling. Take care. And to you guys in the chat room, we're going to now play you out with some of the beautiful sounds of 007 and his gig. And we will be back tomorrow on your screens at 8 p.m. GMT tomorrow night. This has been myself, Roxanne, the Globalist Denier, and
007. I'm going to do some Bob Marley tomorrow.
Ooh, nice. I like the sound of that. I'm just going to get the link up right now. And
what are you putting on now?
Putting on your gig from today, mate.
Yeah, I know, but we're just playing from where we left off.
From where we left off, bro. Playing from where we left off.
I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what song it's going to be.
Big hugs to you all in the chat room. Thank you so much. Gallant Magic as well in the chat room. Lovely to see you as well. Big hugs to you all. Stay safe, stay positive, and we will be back on your screens at 8 p.m. GMT tomorrow. Until then, take care, my darlings. And here we go. I'm going to share the screen right now.
No.
I've got sunshine. Oh, a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, yeah, I've got the month of May. Well, I guess you say what can make me feel this way, my girl, talking about my girl. I've got so much honey beating me with the sweetest song, yeah, and the birds and the trees. Well, I guess you say what can make me feel this way, my girl. Talking about my girl, my girl. Ooh, ooh. I just need no money, no fortune, no fame. Now I got all the riches, baby. What man can claim? Well, I guess you say what can make me feel this way, my girl. Talking about my girl, my girl. Talking about my girl. I've got sunshine and a cloud with my girl. Yeah, even got the love to play with my girl. Talking about my girl.
Just in case you wondered if I was still playing the guitar or not.
Of course, we know you can play the guitar, you cheeky minx, you. Big love to you in the chat room. And as I just did, I shared the link for Anti's stream. He's just gone live now. We will be back on your screens at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Mwah. Much love to you all. 00, safe for tonight. Rest well, everybody. Stay